Some days begin like any other, with the familiar rhythm of routine and the quiet hum of life continuing its course. For Nurse Evelyn Carter, 32 years at St. Mary's Hospital had taught her to find comfort in the predictable. The soft squeak of her white shoes on polished floors, the distant murmur of conversations, the gentle beeping of monitors that meant someone was healing. But this Sunday afternoon felt different somehow. The light falling through the tall windows seemed softer, more golden, as if the world was holding its breath for something important. Evelyn was organizing medication charts when Officer Martinez approached the nurse's station, his usually confident demeanor replaced by something gentler, more careful. "We have a little visitor," he said quietly, nodding toward the pediatric waiting area. "Found her at Riverside Park. She's been silent as a church." "Mouse." Evelyn's eyes found the small figure immediately. A little girl, perhaps 6 years old, sat perfectly still in the oversized chair, her legs too short to touch the floor. What struck Evelyn most wasn't the child's silence. It was the careful way she held herself together. Her brown hair was pulled back with a crooked yellow ribbon. One shoe was untied, and in her arms she cradled a threadbare teddy bear with such tenderness it made Evelyn's heart flutter. "She came with just this," Martinez added, showing a small purple backpack with Lily, written in careful child's handwriting. Evelyn had learned long ago that children speak a different language, not just with words, but with the tilt of their heads, the way they protect their treasures, the stories hidden in their eyes. This little one was trying so hard to be brave. Moving slowly, Evelyn pulled up a small chair and positioned herself at eye level with the child. She didn't speak immediately. Instead, she simply sat, allowing the silence to become a bridge between them. The clock on the wall ticked steadily. Somewhere down the hall, someone laughed softly. The child's grip on her teddy bear relaxed just slightly. "Hello, sweetheart," Evelyn finally whispered, her voice carrying 3 decades of comfort and care. "That's a very special friend you have there." Lily's eyes, dark and far too serious for someone so young, met Evelyn's for the first time. In that gaze, Evelyn recognized something she'd seen countless times before, a child who needed to be heard. "His name is Hope," Lily said, so quietly Evelyn had to lean closer. "Mommy gave him to me before." The words hung delicately in the space between them. Evelyn waited, her heart learning to beat in rhythm with this small, brave soul. "Before what, honey?" Lily looked around the room carefully as if checking for safety. Then, leaning forward until her breath was warm against Evelyn's ear, she whispered the words that would change everything. "My mom was crying when my father was standing over her. She told me to take hope and find help." Time seemed to pause, like the moment between lightning and thunder. Evelyn felt her chest tighten, not with fear, but with recognition. This wasn't tragedy speaking. This was courage, wrapped in innocence, and delivered by the smallest, strongest messenger she'd ever met. Gently, so gently it felt like touching butterfly wings. Evelyn covered Lily's small hand with her own. "You did exactly what a brave girl should do," she said, her voice steady despite the emotion building in her throat. "Your mommy must be so proud of you." For the first time since arriving, Lily's face softened into something resembling hope. "Do you think we can find her?" she asked, clutching her teddy bear tighter. As Evelyn looked into those trusting eyes, she felt certain that somewhere in this very building, a story was waiting to unfold. One that would prove that even in the darkest moments, love finds a way to guide us home. Evelyn's shift should have ended an hour ago, but something about Lily made leaving impossible. The little girl had fallen asleep in the chair, Hope the teddy bear still clutched protectively in her arms, the yellow ribbon now completely askew in her hair. "Any luck with the missing persons reports?" Evelyn asked Officer Martinez, who was finishing his paperwork at the nearby desk. "Nothing yet," he replied, glancing at Lily with concern. "It's like she appeared out of nowhere. No reports of missing children matching her description." Dr. Sarah Chen, the pediatric physician on duty, joined them. "We've done a basic health check. She's physically fine, just exhausted and probably hasn't eaten much today. But Evelyn," she lowered her voice, When I asked about any medical conditions or allergies, she said something strange. She kept mentioning the white room where Mommy sleeps. Evelyn felt a flutter of recognition, though she couldn't place why. What else did she say? She drew this while you were getting her some juice. Dr. Chen showed them a piece of paper covered in crayon marks. It was clearly a child's drawing, but the details were surprisingly specific. A large building with many windows, stick figures in white clothes, and in the center a bed with someone lying in it. That looks like, Officer Martinez began. A hospital, Evelyn finished, studying the drawing more carefully. She drew a hospital, didn't she? Lily stirred in her sleep, murmuring something too soft to understand. But Evelyn caught one word clearly. Mommy. As the evening light grew dimmer outside the windows, a thought began forming in Evelyn's mind, one so simple it seemed impossible, yet so obvious she wondered why she hadn't considered it before. What if they didn't need to search far at all? The next morning brought new energy to the pediatric ward. Lily had spent the night in a temporary room, and when Evelyn arrived for her shift, she found the little girl awake, carefully adding details to another drawing. Good morning, sweetheart, Evelyn said softly. What are you creating today? Lily looked up with eyes that seemed clearer, more hopeful than the day before. I'm drawing all the places Mommy and I have been. Maybe it will help us find her. She spread several papers across the small table. Each drawing told a story. Their apartment with flower boxes in the windows, a playground with a red slide, a grocery store where Mommy buys apples, and again, the building with many windows and people in white uniforms. Tell me about this one, Evelyn said, pointing to the hospital drawing. That's where the nice doctors helped Mommy when she got very sleepy and couldn't wake up. Daddy said the angels in white would make her better. Lily's crayon moved in careful strokes. She's been sleeping there for many days. Evelyn's heart began racing. Lily, do you remember what this place looked like? Was it big? Like our building here? Oh yes, it had the same smell, like the soap Mommy uses for her hands. And there were lots of beeping sounds, like when robots talk to each other. Dr. Chen appeared at Evelyn's shoulder, having overheard the conversation. The two women exchanged a meaningful look. Lily, Dr. Chen said gently, would you like to take a little walk with us? We might be able to show you something special. As they prepared to explore the hospital together, Evelyn felt her pulse quicken. Sometimes the answers we search for are closer than we ever imagined. Will Lily's drawings lead them? To her mother. What secrets lie within the walls of St. Mary's Hospital? The truth is closer than anyone suspects. The journey through St. Mary's Hospital became an adventure through Lily's eyes. Each corridor brought new recognition. She pointed excitedly at the gift shop where Daddy bought me crackers, and stopped completely at the elevator bank. These are the moving rooms, she announced, watching the numbers light up above the doors. Mommy and I rode in one to see the clouds from up high. Evelyn and Dr. Chen exchanged glances. The upper floors housed the long-term care units. Which floor did you visit, honey? Dr. Chen asked. Lily pressed her small nose against the elevator doors, thinking hard. The one with the number that looks like Daddy's lucky number when he watches football. It has a curve and a straight line. 9? Evelyn suggested. Yes, and there were windows everywhere, and you could see the park where I played yesterday. Floor 9. Evelyn knew it well, the extended care wing, where patients recovering from serious illness stayed for weeks or sometimes months. Her heart began to beat faster as pieces of an incredible puzzle started fitting together. Would you like to visit the 9th floor? Dr. Chen asked carefully. Just to see if anything looks familiar? Lily nodded eagerly, clutching hope tighter. Maybe the nice nurses there remember me and Mommy. As the elevator climbed toward the 9th floor, Evelyn found herself holding her breath. Could it really be this simple? Could the answer to Lily's mystery be right here, under the same roof where she'd been found seeking help? The elevator doors opened with a soft ding, revealing the familiar hallway of the extended care unit. Lily gasped, pointing down the corridor. I know. This place. Mommy's room has the pretty flowers on the door. The extended care unit felt different through a child's eyes. Lily moved with growing confidence, her small hand in Evelyn's as they walked past rooms filled with the quiet sounds of healing. There! Lily stopped suddenly, pointing to a door decorated with a small bouquet of artificial daisies. Those are Mommy's favorite flowers. Daddy put them there so I could find her room easily. Evelyn's pulse quickened as she read the name placard beside the door. Angela Morrison, Extended Care. Dr. Chen checked her tablet quickly. Angela Morrison, admitted 3 weeks ago for treatment of severe pneumonia. She's been unconscious but stable. Next of kin listed as, she paused, reading, David Morrison, husband. Daddy, Lily said happily. He's probably at work. He visits every day after his shift ends. The pieces were falling into place with stunning clarity. Angela Morrison wasn't missing. She was a patient fighting her way back to consciousness. And her family had been maintaining their vigil, taking turns between hospital visits and caring for Lily. Can we see Mommy now? Lily asked, her voice filled with hope and innocence. Through the small window in the door, Evelyn could see a woman lying peacefully in the hospital bed, surrounded by medical equipment that monitored her gradual recovery. The room was filled with signs of love. Children's drawings taped to the walls, a small plant on the windowsill, and a chair pulled close to the bed where someone spent long hours waiting. Let me speak with the nurses first, Evelyn said gently. We want to make sure it's the right time for a visit. But as she spoke, movement in the room caught her attention. Angela Morrison's eyes had fluttered open, and she was looking directly toward the door, as if somehow sensing her daughter's presence. Nurse Patricia Williams from the extended care unit greeted them with surprise and growing understanding, as Evelyn explained the situation. You found little Lily? David has been beside himself with worry. He left for just 2 hours yesterday to go home and shower, and when he came back, she was gone. He's been searching everywhere. Where is he now? Dr. Chen asked. He should be here soon. He never misses afternoon visiting hours. But wait. Patricia looked at Lily with sudden recognition. Angela has been stirring more today than she has in weeks. It's almost like she knows something important is happening. Through the doorway, they could see Angela Morrison trying to sit up, her eyes moving around the room with new awareness. Mommy, Lily called out, pressing against the glass. It's me. I brought hope. At the sound of her daughter's voice, Angela turned her head toward the door. Even from the hallway, they could see her lips forming a single word. Lily. She's waking up, Patricia whispered in amazement. After 3 weeks, she's really waking up. Dr. Chen checked Angela's chart quickly. Her vital signs have been improving steadily. There's no medical reason she can't have visitors now. As they prepared to enter the room, Evelyn felt a deep warmth spreading through her chest. This wasn't just a reunion. It was the power of love calling someone back from the edge of unconsciousness, guided by a child's brave journey through the halls of healing. The door opened, and for the first time in days, Lily ran towards something instead of away from it. Mother and daughter, separated by illness and fear, are moments away from reunion. But what happens when father discovers his missing daughter was never truly lost? The most emotional moment awaits. The room seemed to hold its breath as Lily approached her mother's bedside. Angela Morrison's eyes were fully open now, tears streaming down her cheeks as she reached out with trembling hands toward her. Daughter, my brave girl, Angela whispered, her voice hoarse from weeks of silence. You found me. Lily carefully climbed onto the chair beside the bed, still clutching Hope the teddy bear. Mommy, I did what you told me. I found the helpers in white. And look, Hope kept me safe the whole time. Angela managed a weak smile, her fingers brushing Lily's messy hair and straightening the crooked yellow ribbon. You're my hero, sweetheart. I knew you'd be okay. Evelyn watched from the doorway, her professional composure melting into something deeply personal. In 32 years of nursing, she'd witnessed countless recoveries, but few as miraculous as this. a mother's love literally calling her back to consciousness. "The doctors said you were sleeping very deeply," Lily said, snuggling closer. "But I drew you pictures every day so you wouldn't forget me. I could never forget you." "Forget," Angela replied, her strength slowly returning with each word. "Even when I was sleeping, I could hear your voice telling me stories." Dr. Chen approached quietly to check Angela's vital signs. "Mrs. Morrison, how are you feeling?" "Like I've been sleeping for a very long time," Angela said. "Never," taking her eyes off Lily. "But now I feel like I can take on the world." Suddenly, the sound of running footsteps echoed down the hallway. A man's voice called out urgently, "Lily, Patricia said you found her." David Morrison appeared in the doorway, his face showing exhaustion, relief, and overwhelming joy all at once. "Daddy," Lily jumped up. "Look, Mommy's awake. She heard my voice and woke up just like in the fairy tales." David Morrison swept Lily into his arms, holding her as if he'd never let go again. His eyes moved between his daughter and his wife, hardly believing that both his prayers had been answered at once. "I only left for 2 hours," he explained to Evelyn, tears flowing freely. "Lily was napping in the family lounge. When I came back, she was gone. I've been searching everywhere. I never thought to look in pediatrics." "She's incredibly smart," Evelyn said. "When she got scared being alone, she remembered what you'd taught her about finding helpers." Angela struggled to sit up straighter, her voice growing stronger. "Tell me everything that happened, baby girl." Lily, safe between her parents, began recounting her adventure. "I woke up and you were both gone and I got scared. But then I remembered the game we play about finding helpers, so I went to look for the people in white clothes. And she found the very best helper of all," David said, looking at Evelyn with gratitude. "Thank you for believing in her, for listening when she needed someone to hear her story." Dr. Chen stepped forward with Angela's latest test results. "Mrs. Morrison, your recovery is remarkable. Your pneumonia has cleared almost completely. With some physical therapy, you should be able to go home within a few days." "Really?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with excitement. "Mommy can come home?" "Really," Angela confirmed, pulling her daughter closer. "And this time we're all staying together." As the Morrison family held each other close, Evelyn felt the familiar warmth that came with witnessing love triumph over fear. Sometimes the most extraordinary journeys end exactly where they began, in the simple, powerful embrace of family. But their story wasn't quite over yet. The next few days passed like a beautiful dream slowly becoming reality. Angela's strength returned steadily, and Lily rarely left her mother's side except to show the nursing. Staff her latest drawings, now filled with sunshine, flowers, and stick figures of her whole family together. "Miss Evie," Lily said on Angela's final morning in the hospital, "I made something for you." She handed Evelyn a carefully folded piece of paper. When opened, it revealed a drawing of the high pediatric ward with a figure in blue scrubs holding hands with a small girl. Above them, written in Lily's careful letters, were the words, "Thank you for believing me." "This is the most beautiful gift I've ever received," Evelyn said, kneeling down to Lily's level. "But you know what you gave me? Something even more special." "What's that?" "You reminded me why I became a nurse in the first place, to listen to people who need to be heard, especially when they're small and brave like you." Angela, now dressed in her own clothes and preparing for discharge, joined them. "Miss Evelyn, I can never thank you enough. When Lily told me how you sat with her, how you listened to her story without judgment, that meant everything." "She was trying to tell us something important," Evelyn replied. "Sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths." As the Morrison family prepared to leave, Lily made one final stop at the nurses' station where a small crowd had gathered. Dr. Chen, Officer Martinez, Patricia from the 9th floor, and several other staff members who had heard about the remarkable reunion. "Will you remember me?" Lily asked Evelyn. "Every single day," Evelyn promised, pinning Lily's drawing to the bulletin board where everyone could see it. "And every time a child needs someone to listen, I'll remember how brave you were." As the Morrison family heads home, one final surprise awaits. a moment that will show just how far the power of love and listening can reach. The ending will warm every heart. 6 months later, St. Mary's Hospital received an unexpected visitor during the annual Heroes in Healthcare celebration. Lily Morrison, now taller and with her hair neatly braided, walked confidently through the pediatric ward carrying a special delivery. "Missy, Evie," she called out, running toward Evelyn with a familiar enthusiasm. But Lily wasn't alone. Behind her came Angela and David, both glowing with health and happiness, and between them, a toddler taking wobbly steps while clutching a small teddy bear. "We wanted you to meet someone special," Angela said, smiling as she scooped up the little boy. "This is Tommy. He's learning to walk and he's going to need his own helper bear soon." Lily stepped forward proudly. "I told Mommy and Daddy about Hope and how he helped me be brave. So we thought other children might need special bears too." She gestured toward David, who was carrying several bags filled with small teddy bears, each one wearing a tiny white hospital gown and a badge that read, "Hope Helper." "We've been making these for children in hospitals," David explained. "Lily insists on personally delivering them to pediatric wards. She says every scared child needs their own hope." Dr. Chen appeared, having heard about the special delivery. "Lily and the famous Hope Helper bears. The children are going to love these." As they distributed the bears throughout the ward, Evelyn watched Lily speak gently with each child. They met. The little girl who had once been frightened and lost had become a beacon of comfort for others facing their own scary moments. "You started something beautiful," Evelyn told Angela, as they watched Lily demonstrate how to properly hug a Hope Helper bear. "No," Angela replied softly. "You did. You showed my daughter that her voice mattered, that someone would always listen. That lesson changed her life, and ours." As the Morrison family prepared to leave, Lily pressed something into Evelyn's hand. It was a small pin in the shape of a teddy bear, with Hope Helper written across it. "Now you're officially part of our team," Lily announced, "because the best helpers are the ones who know how to listen with their hearts." Standing in the pediatric ward, surrounded by the gentle sounds of healing and hope, Evelyn understood that some of the most important work happens not in dramatic moments, but in the quiet spaces where one person chooses to truly hear another. The whisper that had started their story had grown into something much larger, a reminder that every voice matters, every child deserves to be heard, and sometimes the smallest acts of listening can change the world. Sometimes the greatest adventures begin with the simplest act of all, someone willing to listen.